Hello my dear viewers, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to give you 5 book recommendations for your feminine, classy, sophisticated lifestyle. I've picked 5 books that not only give you a lot of practical tips with regard to a classy, sophisticated and luxurious life, but also referring to the mindset, values, and are a bit more inspirational. Some of the books I have as hard copy, so I can also show them to you, but others I have only listened to as audiobooks, because I also recently enjoy listening to audiobooks a lot. But I will link all of the recommended books down below at Amazon so that you can purchase them if you are interested to read or listen to them. So let's start. Number 1, Choosing the Simply Luxurious Life, a Modern Woman's Guide by Shannon Abels. So this book is basically about the question how to have a rich and fulfilling life, and it is especially about the choices you make as a woman and not that much about your income or financial assets. The topics that the author covers in this book are about designing a life with your passions and talents, cultivating a healthy lifestyle with regard to your body and mind, building strong and healthy relationships, because of course relationships are also a big part of a woman's life. It is about creating a chic and timeless signature style. It covers also the topic of creating your personal temple sanctuary in your home. Most sophisticated, classy, feminine ladies love to travel. So this book also gives advice on traveling with style and comfort. And lastly, it's about discovering simple pleasures that make life luxurious. So I would say that the core message of this book is that you can create a life of your dreams by making the right choices, by being selective and purposeful. And I won't tell you how to do that. If you're interested, read the book. As I said, the link will be down below. I really enjoyed this book. I listened to it, so I don't have a hard copy, but I'm listening to really a multitude of different books. And I have to say that many of the books I just forget about the content. But this is one of the few books that really stuck in my mind, that I remember, and I remember that there were many inspiring and motivational things in it. That's why it is on my list. Number 2, Two Lipsticks and a Lover by Helena Frith Powell. So that book is basically about French women's lifestyle, and the author, Helena Frith Powell, she's basically a travel and lifestyle journalist who asked herself, why is it that French women often look so glamorous just in a jeans and t-shirt, the same as in a classic black dress, and how is it possible that they look so sexy, chic, and timelessly elegant at any age, from 18 to 80? So she basically did a lot of research. She talked to a lot of fashion gurus, beauty experts, etc., and wrote this book that is written in a kind of novel-like way, so it's also very easy to read and very entertaining. So I have read it as a hard copy. I think it doesn't exist as an audiobook, but you can still get it on Amazon as a hard copy, like here. It's really funny in a way, and so smart and feminine. Topics that the author covers, wardrobe and beauty secrets. Also, it's about shopping the right way. It's about exercises that are actually promising lasting success. And it also gives advice on love life, family life, relationships, affairs. Well, everything that is kind of a little bit stereotypical French, but it also really exists in the French culture. As a sophisticated women, we are of course open and interested in approaches from different countries, different cultures, in wisdom of all the women. So that's why I think that it is really recommendable to read this book that particularly focuses on the French women's wisdom and lifestyle. That's why the book made it on my list too. And the core message of that book is to achieve the maximum effect with the least amount of effort, as French women do. So that's what the author concludes here. Number 3 is How to Look Expensive, a beauty editor's secrets to getting gorgeous without breaking the bank, by Andrea Pomerantz-Lustig. This is a book that I have already made a whole review on in the beginning of my YouTube time. I will link that video down below if you discover that you are especially interested in this book, so that you can get to know more about it in more detail. Here I will just quickly summarize what it is about. I have it as a hard copy, as you can see, and I find it very practical. I cannot imagine to have it as an audiobook because this book really gives many practical tips, and it has a lot of product recommendations. I think there doesn't exist an audiobook because it doesn't really make sense. Also, the author uses celebrities for her examples. She basically talks about different styles. Uses a lot of pictures. That's why this is a book that you have to have as like a hard copy. And the content is about how to get expensive looking hair with a small budget, cosmetic secrets from expensive makeup artists, how to have beautiful skin on a budget. And as I said, it has a lot of budget-friendly product recommendations. What I found interesting for me is, as I said, those celebrity examples, and that she talks about different expensive styles, so that there is not only one expensive style. Looking expensive or being classy does not mean that you have to represent this classy style, such as, for example, Kate Middleton or royals are representing. But there are also several other styles that are a different way of elegance. The core message of the book is every woman can afford glamorous looks and the self-confidence that comes with it at any budget. And this is what the book aims to provide. All of those budget-friendly product recommendations are there. And I have to say that I myself found a few products, and I read this book many years ago, that I'm still using because I found them so helpful. So for me it was a helpful book, and that's why I am recommending it also for you to read. Number 4, now we are going deeper. The books until now were more about lifestyle, about looks, about style, but now it will be about mindset, values and behavior. And the next book that I recommend to you is a vintage book. It is a bit old-fashioned, but it has been updated. I think that it's still helpful for a modern feminine woman. And I'm talking about Fascinating Womanhood by Dixie Andelin Forsyth. So this is a book that has been translated in 10 languages and sold millions of copies. And originally the book was written by the mother of Dixie, Helen Andelin, but her daughter, her oldest daughter, learned from her and also implemented her own experiences and then updated the work of her mother to make the wisdom of Helen more accessible and applicable to all kinds of women and cultures of all times. Still, I would say that the book is a bit old-fashioned and traditional. So if you're a super feminist, very modern thinking woman, and I wouldn't consider myself as old-fashioned, but if you're really against those traditional values, also with regards to feminine behavior, then maybe this book is not for you. But if you are open for all kinds of wisdom, then I think this book is very interesting to read, and it contains a lot of helpful advice, especially with regards to relationships with men. So this book is more about the feminine and the masculine, and also feminine energy and masculine energy. So it basically teaches you which traits men from any generation find attractive in a woman, how to understand men, their characteristics, temperament, how to awaken a man's feelings or deepest feelings, in general keys to a happy relationship, but also how to repair love in relationships by using feminine energy, and how to bring out the best in the man. It is really focused on feminine energy, and as I said, on rather traditional feminine values. My core message would be that we as classy, feminine, modern women should also not only take into account the wisdom of contemporary teachers, but also be open and respect and take into account the wisdom of older generations of women, because they have to teach us something that is important and that we can still apply in modern life. That's why I would recommend you to read or listen, I listened to it, this book, and just take from it what is helpful for you and see if it works for you. And number 5, another book that is more of an inspirational book, and I've also made a whole review about that. Born to Receive: 7 Powerful Steps Women Can Take Today to Reclaim Their Half of the Universe by Amanda Owen. So this book is purely about feminine energy. So it's not so much focused on relationships. It also contains the topic of relationships, but it is more about receiving as a feminine energy. So the interesting and good thing about this book, you see, is not that thick. It is also quite easy to read. The topics of this book are self-improvement strategies and a radically different approach to specific things in life. It is supposed to help women achieving their goals, reduce stress, create a better health and more happiness in relationships by using the power that already exists in them, the feminine energy power of receiving. It contains very, very practical steps that you can really integrate in your life very easily. It has a lot of exercises where you write down things, but it also has a lot of suggestions. Its core message is that it is okay to receive as a woman. So I recommend you to read this because it is such a simple message, but in such a nice practical way. I really love books that are not only providing you a lot of thoughts and a lot of inspiration is always good, but if it is hard to transform this, what you read, into your practical life, then those books are mostly the ones that are often forgotten very fast, that when you listen or when you read them you think, wow, yes, oh yeah, that's so true, but in the end nothing happens, no change happens, because you didn't do anything in order to implement those things in your life. Born to Receive is one of those few books that are really practical, and that's why I recommend them on your journey to becoming a classy, sophisticated, more feminine lady. That was it. I especially picked only 5 books so that you can read them, all of them if you're interested, or just pick the ones that you are most interested in. Those books are focused on the topic of femininity and class and sophistication and the luxurious lifestyle. But I have also read a lot of books that are more about relationships, for example, or also more about feminine empowerment. I have not listed those books in my list because, as I said, I just wanted to focus on a specific part of femininity, and I hope that my tips were interesting for you. And if you have read one of those books, or if you're going to read one of those books, tell me in the comments. And if you have another book recommendation for me, also tell me in the comments. I really appreciate that, and I also appreciate the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, then of course please subscribe so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and I will see you there. Bye bye!